Hi guys, today we're finally going to take a look at Asura Mirror for a Paladin. I think by this point in 2024, everybody and their mothers know how to hunt Asura Mirror, but just for completeness sakes, I figured I'd share my route, my path, my results, and what you can expect from Asura Mirror. So let's jump straight into it. I went to Asura Mirror at first at level 343, and you can see those results on the left, sort of in the center. And then I went again with full charms around level 360, and you can see those results a little bit on the right. You can also see my equipment that I was wearing when I hunted here, and basically the results for a 350 paladin, something like that, starting here somewhere about 4.5 kk raw, which is about 6.7 kk on 150, and loot profit I forgot to enter here, but looking at the photos, it's probably somewhere around 300k ish profit per hour. So that's kind of what you can expect when you first come here at level 350. Now, the overall tier rating for this spot is S tier. It's one of very few S tier places left in the game, and it's absolutely amazing. It has just crazy experience. I mean, it's like 20% better than anything else at this level in the game. So it's really crazy. Super popular on most, semi-populated worlds. The Suramir is probably taken most of the time. So something to keep in mind. And it also scales very well with level. You can see my little table here for experience, goals, peaks. So the place scales all the way up to about 6.5 kk raw, probably by around level 600. And you can see the other sort of peaks that you can maybe expect around what level. So about 5 kk at level 400, somewhere around 5.5 kk around 450, maybe around 6 kk around 500. And then probably, at around 6.5 kk, you will start running out of respawn. Difficulty, if you come here at 350 with no combat charms, it's like an 8 out of 10 difficulty. It's pretty rough. Those monsters do deal a lot of damage, but it's still manageable if you have the right equipment, imbuements, etc. But it becomes fairly easy from like level 450 plus because those monsters don't have very much health. So even though they do, quite a lot of damage, they die very quickly. With regards to Bestiary, it's about 6 hours for Dawnfire Asura, 2 hours for Midnight Asura, and 8 hours for Hellspawn. So, moving on, requirements. Note, I recommend at least level 350 plus for solo Paladin. I know it's possible on lower levels. You can get like double defense spray and come here much earlier. I'm not that kind of player. I couldn't recommend that. I recommend 350 plus. If you know what you're doing, if you're a really good player, you can consider it a bit earlier. I probably wouldn't bother. Now, a big point here is that if you've never hunted Mirror before, you need to trap 4 true Asuras, which spawn on this level, and you kind of hide them behind doors and little crevices, and then they will never bother you again. So you just need to invest 5 minutes into doing this at the start of your hunt. Unless if you're starting to hunt at 10 a.m. straight after the server save, then yes, you will need to do that. Any other case, most likely the Asuras will already be trapped by somebody hunting before you, so you probably won't even have to bother. But if you do need to trap them, I personally refer everybody to Itexo's YouTube video, which is called How to Trap the True Asurite in Asura Mirror. That's how I learned how to do it, and it's still accurate, still valid. So, just check out Itexo's video, and that will teach you how to do it. To access this place, you will need to complete a Asura Palace quest and the Lost Brother quest. They take about 10 minutes total, so not a big deal. You will need a Dwarven Ring because they make you drunk, and this place can effectively be hunted by basically everybody. Knights and Paladins, best place for Knight and Paladin solo from like level 300 to like 600. Duos do very well here. Full team hunts do very well here, sort of like low to mid level. Extremely popular spot. Druid sorcerers can probably even hunt here solo as well. It's not going to be anything amazing though, and if they have to compete against this spot with like against all knights and paladins, I don't think druids and sorcerers solo really bother too much just because of how popular this spot is, and for them the result's probably not really all that worth it. For imbuements, all standard. Also death protection if you're first starting. If you come at 350, you probably want that death protection imbuement somewhere in there. At higher level, you don't really need to bother. For damage breakdown, prioritize physical followed by death. Starlight Vial, in my opinion, is a trap for Paladins, so I would not use Starlight Vial. I would definitely use the Moon Mirror for that damage protection. Starlight Vial is something you can consider on an EK because EK struggle with mana management a lot more, and if they, get the mana drained by the Midnight Asuras, then they can be in trouble. So EKs can consider Starlight Vial. I probably still wouldn't. But definitely as a Paladin, I would not use Starlight Vial. And just make sure to have your prismatic and energy rings on hotkeys, you know, just ready to toggle in case you get boxed at 350 and you can tell that it's too much. You know, have some NPC food as well if needed. Moving on, supplies per hour. It's about 1800 great mana potions, about 100 ultimates, 16, well, more like 1400 diamond arrows, and more like 600 avalanches. This is also a little tip if you are actually trying to do the frost flower bestiary, which I didn't. You can bring a few SDs to finish them off because they usually won't be finished off in the pull. So you can, you can do your pull, and then a frost flower will be on like half health or whatever. So you can just target and SD it down to help with that bestiary. But for general hunting, if you don't need a bestiary, I wouldn't really bother with frost flowers. Once you've unlocked frost flowers, something to mention. I know some people do it. They also use the charm, which gives you a boost of movement speed on frost flowers. I don't remember what it's called because I've never had it. Anyway, moving on, I used the avalanches here because again, I don't really kill the frost flowers. If you want to kill the frost flowers, you can consider using thunderstorms. You will need 6 bullseye potions per hour, and also something to note: once you complete the Lost Brother quest, you can resupply potions at the Taran NPC, so you don't have to go back to town every 20 minutes or whatever. I would recommend, you know, buying enough avalanches and diamond arrows to last you an hour, but just like, you know, way fewer great mana potions and ultimates, because you can buy those from Taran. You can also sell a bunch of the loot and flasks and vials back to the NPC as well, so something to consider that actually is quite cool and makes this hunt very comfy. With regards to charms, as I just mentioned a second ago before I forget, you can apply this charm on Frost Flower once you have them unlocked to give you a grant of boost of movement speed. Again, don't remember what it's called. On Midnight Asura, I would put on Dodge if you're struggling, or Parry if you need that extra little bit of damage, because they deal a lot of damage and they don't have very much health. So this is one of the few monsters in the game where Parry is really good. So if you have it, I would apply Parry. If you don't have Dodge or Parry, you can always still just apply a bunch of elemental charms. They will still work, just won't be as effective. I would recommend Low Blow on Dawnfire Asura, and I would recommend Freeze on Hellspawn. For the wheel, I would do T1 Gift at 350 and T1 Grenade at 450 plus. And the character you'll actually see in the video is level 359, Paladin with 122 distance and 33 magic level, no combat praise and no charms. I don't know about no charms. I maybe had Freeze on Hellspawn. I can't remember now. Maybe there is Freeze on Hellspawn. Either way, not a big difference. And now we're going to take a look at the route. Now, with higher level, you can do fewer but bigger pulls than what I'm going to show you. So you can always adjust as you go. So I'm going to start with the route that I do on my level 350, and then I'll make a couple of comments what you can do on high level. So on level 350, when you come in on -1, I usually just go here, do a pull here, go somewhere in this room and do a pull in here. I'll then do a pull in here, and then go up and do a pull in here. Those two pulls on high level, you definitely want to combine. You definitely don't want to be doing this small pull in here, but I found at 350, doing these two pulls together was too difficult, and I couldn't cope, so I had to split them in two. Afterwards, I will go here and into this room. In this room, make sure not to go too far north, because if you go too far north, you will pull out 2 true Asuras that are going to be hiding lured away in this corner. So make sure just not to go too far. You know, I think if you're like sort of within this line, you should be perfectly fine. After this one, and this one is by the way pretty hard as well, this pull here at 350. Like I like standing in the corner here, so you actually don't have 8 monsters on you. You can have like 5 or 6. So yeah, just see how it works for you. Afterwards, I'll go here and do this pull. Afterwards, I'll usually go and do this pull, and then I'll just go north and rejoin this lab and do this pull again. Now, as you can see, I'm skipping quite a few pulls because at level 350, I don't kill fast enough to overkill the respawn, but there's a few more spots that you can definitely add as you level up. So one pull that you can definitely add, let me just change the color so it's more obvious. Here in this place, there's a hole that you can go down, and this brings you to -2 right here, and that's got like I think 5 Dawnfire Asuras. So once you start overkilling this spawn, definitely pop down here, kill the Dawnfire Asuras, pop back out, just an extra pull you can add. And then there's also this section near the entrance here. So again, when you're coming down from this corridor through here, instead of just going to the right and just completing your lap, what you can do is just go left here and do a big pull by the teleporter here, and you can go down the hole here, which brings you to -2 right here, and then you can do a big pull in here as well. So you can add also those pulls, and then when you're done with that, you go back out, you go here and rejoin the pull, rejoin the lab. Now, I don't think this is necessary at level 350 because, you know, this is kind of a slower pull, and same with this one. Those on -2 are a little bit slower overall, so I don't bother with them at level 350. From around level 400, 450, you probably will want to start adding those to make sure not to break the respawn. And basically this is what I have for you today, guys. I don't think any of this is particularly new to anybody. This spawn has been S tier for years and years and years at this point. Anyway, thought I'd share how I do it, what I think about it. So I hope you still enjoyed it, even though it's old news. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.